Well, thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be able to join you this morning. The idea of a self-propelled vehicle has always captured the human imagination, from Homer to Leonardo da Vinci. But for most of our history, a practical solution has been out of reach. That's not to say people didn't try. The 18th century saw wind-powered carts in the Netherlands and a carriage shown in Paris propelled by a large clockwork engine. But it was Cugnot's steam engine, moving at a whopping 2 miles an hour, that showed the dream could become a reality. And from there, things moved forward with relentless momentum, culminating in the vehicles brought to the mass market by Ford, the first steps of a revolution leading to the universal automobile that has done so much to shape the world in which we live. But after that, things slowed down again. The car started to evolve gradually, with incremental changes transforming Henry Ford's creation into the Mini, the Bentley, the Range Rover that we know today. But now something different is happening. We're at another junction in history. We are on the cusp of another revolution. A revolution driven by technological innovation, by environmental necessity, and by the restlessness of human imagination. As the realities of climate change dawn on the world, the drive to decarbonise becomes more and more pressing. And earlier this month, the Prime Minister made the UK's commitment clear, announcing that we will become a net zero emissions nation by 2050, something we started the process of legislating for yesterday in the House of Commons. And because transport is part of the problem, ultra-low and zero emissions vehicles are a big part of the solution. More than a quarter of the UK's emissions are from transport, the vast majority from our roads. So we need history to come full circle, replacing the internal combustion engine we've known for so long, and providing mass market vehicles that produce no more greenhouse gases than a wind-powered cart or a clockwork engine. Again, we've made our commitment clear, stating that here in the UK, all new cars and vans will be effectively zero emission by 2040. Then there's AI and robotics. As these technologies take on the sorts of tasks we've always considered uniquely human, automotive will change fundamentally. Of course, autonomous and connected vehicles have slowly and quietly been transforming our cars for years, from automatic emergency braking to internet connectivity. But now we're close to the reality of fully autonomous vehicles on every street. And this adds up to us being at a major moment in our history. And I want the UK to lead the new automotive revolution by working with the industry, ushering in a new era of British manufacturing in cars, in batteries, and electric motors. As someone from the north of England and as an MP representing a northern constituency, this is really important to me. Manufacturing built the region I'm from, and it still plays a crucial role today, and it shaped my outlook on life. The constituency I represent, Pendle in Lancashire, manufacturing jobs are still the dominant employer, with firms producing everything from biscuits to aero-engine fan blades. My family have worked in northern manufacturing for as long as anyone can remember. 3 generations of my family worked at Avro's in Greater Manchester, proudly making some of the most iconic aircraft of a generation, including the Lancaster and the Vulcans. But I bucked the trend and went into politics, joining the Conservative Party aged 16. For those of you who know much about northern manufacturing communities, you'll see that that was probably the ultimate teenage rebellion. I think my mother would rather have had a piercing or a tattoo. These experiences, though, taught me how important manufacturing jobs are to communities and to individuals. They provide security, unity, and pride. And from a broader political perspective, the sector helps to rebalance our economy away from the enormous weight that is London and the South East. The automotive sector is an excellent example. You're a major part of our economy, creating jobs and wealth outside London. I've seen this firsthand in my first 2.5 months as a minister, as I've travelled around the country, recently visiting the Bentley plant in Crewe, which employs over 4,000 people. And it creates centres of real expertise in which areas can take a huge sense of pride. The northeast of England, an area that has struggled in the post-industrial era, is now a world leader in electric vehicles, with Europe's best-selling electric vehicle, the Nissan Leaf, made in Sunderland. So I'm committed to retaining manufacturing as a key part of our economy, to retaining it and to supporting it to thrive, which is why I'm proud of initiatives like the Made Smarter programme, a true government-industry partnership with a £20 million pilot in the northwest of England, sending advisors into manufacturing SMEs, including automotive firms, to help them transform their businesses through digital technology. And it's why I'm so excited about the possibilities of this new wave of automotive engineering and what it means for British manufacturing. If that sounds a bit jingoistic to you, please let me assure you it's not. For the past 50 years, UK automotive has been international to its very core, and we want to keep it that way. We are very fortunate to have many fantastic international companies operating here in the UK, from BMW to Bosch to Ford, Nissan and LEVC, many of whom I'm delighted to see in the room today. And I want to entice more to our shores to make the most of the fantastic opportunities on offer and to work with us, the government, to realise the benefits of this new automotive revolution. As I've said, we want the UK to be at the fore of design and manufacturing ultra-low and zero emissions vehicles. We're already in a strong position, with 1 in 5 electric cars sold in Europe now made in the UK. We've worked hard with industry to get where we are today, building up skills, a body of expertise and supply chains, and supporting businesses to make this the best place in the world to develop automotive innovations. We've made over 300 million worth of funding available to businesses to support innovation in ultra-low and zero-emission vehicles and to support infrastructure. And in partnership with industry, we're investing billions of pounds in the Advanced Propulsion Centre, who again, I'm pleased to see here today, to research, develop and commercialise the next generation of low-carbon technologies. The APC has, for example, helped to establish a joint venture between Unipart and Williams Advanced Engineering, whose first job will be producing the batteries for the first all-electric Aston Martin. Just one example of how, with industry, we are building up the supply chains we need to become a centre for the next generation of cars. Our long-term commitment to battery technology is another, which we've set out in our automotive sector deal, part of the industrial strategy, with plans to establish the UK as the natural home of battery innovation, from design to development to manufacturing. Last month, I was delighted to announce an extra 28 million for the Battery Industrialisation Centre, taking our total investment in battery innovation and production to over 270 million through the Faraday Battery Challenge. It's fitting that our proceedings today are being watched over by the great man himself. I'm sure you may have all seen the statue of Michael Faraday outside this building. If I conform to stereotypes and donned a northern flat cap, I doffed it on the way in, because the future of this industry is being built on his legacy. And the investments this government is making in his name and elsewhere are making a real difference to domestic and foreign firms, to British manufacturing and to communities across our country. Support from our industrial strategy, for instance, has helped Nissan, Hyperdrive, Newcastle University and Zero Carbon's Futures find new ways of making high-density batteries, So instead of importing them from South Korea, they're now made in Sunderland. As well as nurturing the conditions automotive needs to flourish, we're stimulating domestic demand to make sure there are plenty of customers on our doorstep for UK-based businesses. We've got a major package encouraging consumers towards ultra-low and zero-emission vehicles, with grants for plug-in vehicles, hydrogen recharging points, and a massive rollout of electric charging thanks to public and private investment. Government funding and leadership, alongside private investment, has already seen more than 17,000 public charge points installed, including one of the largest rapid charge point networks in Europe. And I'm confident that over the next years, we will succeed in attracting more private sector investment into charge point infrastructure across our country. Our work to boost demand makes this a good bet for business. But though the UK is a fantastic environment for automotive, I appreciate that the industry needs certainty, as was said in the opening speech. Certainty about what our terms of trade will be with our largest trading partner, the EU, and reassurance that our new border arrangements will keep the just-in-time supply chains you depend on to keep trade flowing smoothly. So I will be doing all I can, working with whoever wins the contest to be our next Prime Minister, to deliver a Brexit which supports the automotive sector and manufacturing as a whole. I hope that we'll be able to bring an end to the uncertainty very soon, and I hope we can all then start once again planning properly for the future. Because the future of this sector is hugely exciting. As I say, we are on the cusp of a revolution. From Da Vinci to Cuneo to Ford, the innovators, the engineers, and the companies in this room are part of a proud history of automotive imagination and ingenuity. And just as these early pioneers helped to change the world, we shall do so again. Working with industry, the UK is leading the way in transforming road travel. And my message to business today is join us on that journey. Enjoy the skills, the expertise, and the support the UK has to offer, and work with us to unleash the latest automotive revolution. Thank you.